Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel again. If this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing, and all you gotta do is hit that button down below. So before we get into today's video, I just want to show you guys something really quick that just came in. I'm really excited for these. It's kind of silly, but finally got my new stickers for the car. Yes! Super excited about these. So I'll probably be putting these on either tomorrow or probably Tuesday, something like that. So in today's video we're going to talk about why I bought the RS. And compare it to kind of some of the other cars in the class and hot hatch division, and kind of say as to why I bought the RS compared to some of the other ones. So we'll take it from the top really quick, and we'll compare it to some of the most common ones. So obviously, why I didn't buy an Evo. Well, the Evo is no longer being made by Mitsubishi, so that was a pretty easy choice because I couldn't get one. The other ones were the Volkswagen Golf R. Now, I do love the Volkswagen Golf R. It's a beautiful car. It's very refined. The ride quality is really nice. It is all-wheel drive. It's a very capable car as far as tuning. I know APR makes it a really awesome tune for the car. They have a lot of parts available, and those cars can be sick. But the only thing is that they're Volkswagen. It's not really my style. I mean, I do love the way the car looks, but something about it, it's just, I don't know. It's just not for me, I guess, you know. The other cars in the division, most notably is going to be probably the Civic Type R. Now again, the Civic Type R is hands down probably one of the best cars in the hot hatch market. Being that it's only front wheel drive though, unfortunately that's why I didn't want to get one. Other than one, availability, because they are really hard to find. I know people have to shop around quite a bit for them. They are paying a good amount over MSRP, which is something I didn't really want to do. And again, being front wheel drive, I wanted something all wheel drive, which is why I switched from the ST to the RS platform. The other competitor in the division is obviously going to be the WRX and the STI. Now those two being the most readily available cars in the market, it would have been an easy choice. All-wheel drive, turbo, has everything that I want. The only problem is that obviously you guys know in the car community is if you want to have a car that sets you apart from everything, it's hard to do that with a car that everybody has. Don't get me wrong, I love the WRX, I love the STI, but there's so many of them in my area. On a 15-20 minute commute to work, I pass probably 6 or 7 different ones, and you know, again, every time I see one, I always do a double take and take a look at it. And they're really sweet cars. But again, everybody I know has one. Just to prove a point here, my buddy Len has a 2015 Launch Edition STI, beautiful car, love it. Both of my cousins have WRXs. One has a Hawkeye, I want to say it's a 2007 WRX. The other one has a 2009, I want to say, STI hatchback. He actually went big turbo on that. This is pretty sweet. Still working on the tune. I'll actually get that in another video later. You guys can check that out. It's pretty sweet. And my buddy Justin also has a WRX hatchback. And you know, my buddy Matt has a WRX. He's got the sedan. And I mean, the list goes on. I mean, there's so many WRXs and STIs in my area. That doesn't take away from how awesome the car really is. But again, I want something a little more unique. And having gone from the ST to the RS kind of seemed like a natural progression. It's kind of the big brother from the ST. And I mean, I was already comfortable with the interior, kind of the drivetrain and everything from the ST, the transmission. It just made sense to kind of go with the RS. Not to mention, you know, I'm not just a Ford fanboy. You know, I love the ST. You know, I had a North American first generation 2007 Ford Focus ST, which a lot of people didn't even know was a thing, but it is real. It had a 2.3 Duratec naturally aspirated. Really wasn't anything too fancy, but that kind of got me into the Ford performance. And one other thing about the STI that's kind of disappointing is that with Subaru. I mean, Subaru, what have you guys been doing with the STI? The reason why I picked the RS over the STI is going to be in regard to the fact that Subaru has not done anything with the EJ25 that's in the STI. I mean, we've seen the same power coming out of that motor, pretty much the same platform since about 2009, I want to say. You know, it gives a small power upgrade, you know, from the once it got past the Hawkeye, but the EJ25 is pretty much rocking the same thing. Now, yes, the STI has had some improvements with technology, some improvements as far as the interior of the car, with new gauge clusters, digital gauges, as well as differential control. So there's a lot more drivability in the car, but unfortunately, it just has not gotten that power bump that I think a lot of the Subaru people would agree is kind of frustrating as well as disappointing. Now, the RS obviously came out of the box with more horsepower, 350 from the factory, but it doesn't just stop there. one of the big things that drew me to the RS was also going to be the fact that its tunability. I don't know if that's a word, but we'll go with it. So the RS, starting at a higher horsepower number, even though it does have a smaller displacement motor, is the fact that the fuel system in the car can handle a lot more than, say, the STI. Now, it's no secret that the EJ25 is already almost pushed to its limit as far as the fuel system. So when it came to the tuning, as I wanted to be able to do more kind of bolt-on and tune and have more power readily available, I didn't necessarily want to get more into having to swap, the injectors and the fuel pump and the rails and the lines and all that stuff. That just seemed a little more work than I wanted to do right off the bat. So again, that is one of the appeals that kind of led me to the RS, was how much easier it was going to be to tune the car. I'm going to throw also in one other random car in there that people probably wouldn't really necessarily think of, which would have been the Mazda Speed 3. Again, now Mazda isn't making the Speed 3. I would have had to get one used. But again, it is a hatchback, and they are 2.3 turbo, but again, the downfall for that is front wheel drive. Again, that's not the biggest deal, but again, the whole purpose of me getting a new car, getting rid of the ST, was to get the all-wheel drive platform. So anyway, I do love all the cars in the hot hatch thing. I love the Mazda Speed 3, I love the Type R, I love the WRX, the STI, the Golf R. I mean, I love them all. Just something about the RS just kind of set it apart, something a little more unique, a little bit different. And I'm glad I got it, and I'll actually be doing a review about it. The car's been tuned now for almost 6 months, so I'm going to kind of give you guys my my opinion about how I think the car's been going over the last 6 months, and give you my thoughts, and kind of go over some of the problems I've been having, which you guys have probably seen on the channel, and kind of just give you guys some more detailed feedback. So expect that one, expect that video to come up shortly, and some other things we got planned for 2018. Just to kind of give you guys some insight as to what to expect for the channel. We are going to be doing that intercooler video, which I know some of you guys have already expressed interest in, as far as the blanking plate that's on the stock intercooler. We're going to be doing some data logging with the plate still on it, and then I'm actually going to take it off and do more data logging, and I want to see how much more inefficient that intercooler actually is with the plate on it. So we're going to kind of do some tests with that and see how that goes, and still doing more research, so I don't know if I'm going to necessarily keep the plate off of the car, but I am going to swap the intercooler later on down the road anyway. So we'll kind of check that out and see if it's worth it until I get the intercooler replaced. So some other stuff we're going to do though too is also, as in the last video you guys saw, we are going to be installing the boost pressure adapter that came with the blow-off valve. That way kind of reduce the boost leaks I've seen to be having with the blow-off valve. We're also going to be doing a couple more drift sessions, especially with the snow coming down. It's pretty nice to try to take advantage of some of that time, and go out there and do a little more drifting and have some fun. And did try to mess with it with the traction control completely off. I know some people had recommended when you put it in drift mode to make sure that the ECS is completely off. Now I did do that the other day, and I have to say it is sketchy as hell. So I'll put up some videos later on. You guys can kind of see what I mean. You want to make sure you're in a very wide open area before you do that, because especially with the all seasons in the back, that thing was kind of spinning out of control a little bit. But anyway, I'll do more of that at another time. So anyway, that's my thoughts, and that's kind of the reason as to why I bought the RS. So again, thank you guys everybody for checking out the video. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you guys like the content, and I'll try to keep it coming. And as always, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well if you're here, and that way it'll keep you in the loop of all the future videos I have coming up. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.